So where do children get the right message? Most of us give them a message in the morning, honey, you be good, do well. By the time we see them again, they have heard 89 messages which say have sex, get drunk, party hard, buy stuff, right? And we come back, right? And we come back and say, I hope you were good in school today. And they say, yes, we were, right? That ain't gonna work. So somehow we have to figure out how we get the time as well as the resources to children.
It's 2010. How is President George W. Bush remembered, and what has happened with Al-Qaeda? Fareed.
I think he'll be remembered for a very energetic response to September 11th. And after that, for taking a very progressive attitude towards the issue of political reform in the Arab world. But because of his inability to bring the world along with him, because of his inability to forge truly deep and lasting coalitions, much of that work will not actually be consummated or completed, because the true fight against terrorism and against Al-Qaeda is a global fight in which every country will have to be involved, and indeed the countries that will provide the most help and the most information are the ones that we sometimes alienate the most these days.
My little character, since I'm the only person who does one voice, I can speak wholly to just the one. Thank you. Whereas Harry does like 9 voices per show. Do it, Harry, do. Go, go, go.
I am not your trick pony, Lisa.
Bravo!
But will you be mine?
See?
Well, there are 2 different ways of approaching this. One is what politician, what I admire the most, and did I think have the most fun? And that, of course, would be, for readers of my latest book, Joe McCarthy. We had
always a popular favorite. Yes.
A different way of approaching it would be who could have changed history in a very important way. I would want to be FDR so that I could not introduce the New Deal.
I would be Hitler.
Another popular favorite.
Well, you know, you get the call off the New Deal. I'd like to call off the Holocaust. You know, World War II, the Anschluss. But I'd keep the Volkswagen.
You're intelligent and go to school and speak proper English and don't get high and you're not out in the corner drinking a 40 holding your privates. If you don't do those things, then you're considered white.
Right. And you're trying to be white.
And so, in these kids' twisted minds as young adults, they've equated ignorance with their blackness and intelligence with whiteness. And this whole thing is suicidal.
Was it difficult to have both? It's very difficult to have both, you discover, but at the time before you do it, you don't expect that. I mean, it was much harder than I had ever expected, because I hadn't realized that it was totally exhausting trying to kind of have no private. You basically give up any life of your own in a sense when you try to do those two things, and that's what became the big angst. And my children are now 15 and 19, but you know, for so many years it seemed it was just sort of work and children, work and children, work and, you know, and what actually got lost was friends. I really minded that about the fact that one's friendships, there just wasn't the time to water them and develop them and nurture them.
The thing was that from when we beat New York the last day in Yankee Stadium, we ended up winning 14 out of 16 games the rest of the way and ended up tying. And that's, you know, the 78 playoff, and then Bucky, effing Dent. Maybe the only time in Bucky's career that he heard that there's a long fly ball, deep to left. He never hit a ball deep to left.
I'll tell you what, it was a great sound, too.
Oh, man. It was great.
Tell me, do you dream sometimes that you were fully able-bodied?
I think I did more so when I was younger. I think that the older that I got, the more I began to realize that I could use the situation that I have as an advantage. You know, there's certain things that I could do. I could pack more strength into a smaller frame, you know, and compete. And then, too, you know, I was able to go out and speak to people and do certain things, write the book, for instance, and go out there and do that. I think that I've been, you know, truly blessed. Life's all about perception. I could perceive every day to wake up and be horrible. You know, who wants to do that? You know, the people that I like to associate with are people that see life to be amazing, because that's the way that I feel that it is. Every day, you know, I wake up and I thank God for the blessings in my life, because I truly am blessed.
I want to do something from my last recording, which is a tribute to the great legend of 20th century music. It's a Louis Armstrong.